churches used to be open 24 hours a day because they were always there if you needed a quiet place to go and be able to talk to God.
This place, this building, during that 7 days is dedicated to prayer.
Here's a place in a house dedicated to God that you can come in and talk to God, and when you leave, you will have had a better prayer experience than you've probably ever had in your life.
Jesus said, that his house was to be a house of prayer.
When you're in the room and when you first get in there, it's kind of an odd thing because you've gone in there for a purpose.
The thing that really sticks out to me is the anticipation that I feel every year.
There's an atmosphere in there that is unique to that experience.
Went in that room and was able to feel the Holy Spirit.
The setting obviously adds to it. There is not a mystique actually, but it does seem holy in a lot of ways.
There we were able to take communion, light incense, light a candle.
When you start off, you oftentimes you read the cards or you read the notebook there where people have listed prayers. And
so when I read those cards, the prayer cards, when I look into the journal and read the prayers that people have just poured their heart to paper, I feel like I'm sharing in their lives.
I believe it was the first year that they did the week of prayer here at Hunter Hills, and it was a very, very difficult time in my life, probably the worst time.
And as you start to read these things, your heart goes out to these people, and immediately they become part of that process. They're in that.
But we know that through sharing, that's how we get closer with each other.
I needed God's arms around me, and
I've seen people come here in every state of emotion that I've seen people come in here in tears. I've seen people come in here who are angry, depressed.
In that room, I truly felt God's arms wrap around me and love me.
You can go in there and you can talk to God, and there are no limits. You can say what's on your heart, you can say what you mean, you can say what you feel, you can talk about your kids or your parents or a lost loved one, your job, the economy. You can talk about anything.
I was able to see through the cards that other people had written out. I'm not the only one in this world suffering.
Being in that room gives me a special connection.
But I was able to devote some time to myself between me and God. But I was also able to go outside of myself and devote some time to praying for others. I think we take comfort when we know we're not the only ones suffering.
And the one thing that I saw every time when people came out of that room was that they were happier, they looked more peaceful. That clearly what happened in that room had a change in how they felt before they went in that room.
I think the main thing that I felt that day was just enveloped by God's love. Some healing took place in that room, I believe.
I would just encourage anyone who has not done this to take part in it.
7 days of non-stop prayer is like a relay race, and my time in that room is the time that I'm carrying the baton.
Especially if you think this is not for you, that means this is for you. This is God talking to you. You've been notified. This is for you. This is one of the great things about going to this room. It does not matter your level of knowledge. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the church. None of that matters.
And I look at one person who goes into the room and they are praying, and they're praying for our church family, they're praying for their needs. They've got the baton. And then when they leave, they hand the baton to the next person. And that person goes into the prayer room, and they are running the race for 100 Hills.
I really want to encourage people who might have a discomfort in the symbolism, the going for just an hour of prayer, to let that go. Because if you go in that room, if you go in there and don't even know what you're going in there for, you're going to find God in that room.